Here's a moment, and every person who's almost watching this has had it. Imagine you are at a table, people you love are around you, someone is blowing out candles, someone is laughing, and you almost miss the not because you weren't there. You were physically here, but mentally gone. So I want you to ask something, and I want you to sit with it honesty. Yes, honesty. How much of your life happening while you are looking at that screen? There is a concept in philosophy called opportunity cost, and in economics they say every choice you make is also a choice not to make something else. Let's understand like this: when you spend 500 on something, that's not just 500 gone. It's that 500 you didn't spend on the trip or on the book or on the meal time. Time also works the same way. Expect no refund, no credit, and no re-earned it. Most of us know this. The problem isn't the information. The problem is that we haven't felt it yet. So let's just talk about it. Let's just look at it. Okay, so now average Indian life expectancy right now is 70 years. So if you are 25 years old, you have somewhere between 2,314 weeks left. Let's see, you spend 4.5 hours per day on your screen. This number is just document number. I know for you and me, this number is way higher than this. Okay, let's just go with this. If you spend 4.5 hours per day on screen, you spend somewhere between 1,614 hours per year on your screen. If we convert this number into days, this is 68 days in a year. And these 68 days not goes in sleep, not in a work, and not in a family. These 68 days go in just scrolling. That totally goes in scrolling. And if you calculate over 10 years how much this is time, so over a 10 years this is a 2 years of your life that totally gone, or I can say totally waste. Read that again. Not a years you were asleep, not a years you were sick, a years you are awake, alive, and feed your screen over anything else. I am not saying this to feel you terrible. No, no. I am saying this because of number. When you see that numbers, that change something in your head. Yes, you will never get those sentences back. Never. But here is also that actually tells you. If you are willing to see it differently, you also have 2,314 left. That is not your logic. That is a countdown that's still running. One more thing. You are not the first person who stared at this problem. People have been losing their lives to distraction for as long as there have been lives to lose. You know what? Romanians have a word for you just felt after reading those numbers. And it's called
Memento Mori.
Remember, you will die. Marcus Aurelius, Seneca, Epictetus. These were not the monks sitting in the mountain somewhere. These are the generals, emperors. Peoples are drowning in obligation, in power, in noise. And these are the ones who build an entire practice around this idea. Not because they were dark, because they are awake. Seneca wrote this something, and it literally feels like it was written for 2026. It is not that we have a short time to live, but that we waste a great deal of it. He wasn't talking about philosophy, he was talking about people of Rome who spend their days in trivial entertainment, in others' business, in gossips, anything but their own lives. He literally described your Instagram feed in 65 AD. Most people treat death as something that happened at the end, but Stoic says, nah, no, time is dying right now. Every second that just passed, it gone entirely. It never come back. So time is dying. The practice of Memento Mori wasn't about fear. It was about sharpening your attention to what's actually in front of you. Marcus Aurelius, who ruled Roman Empire, the most powerful man alive, and yet every morning to remind himself You have one more day, so use it like it's matter. The question Momento Mori asking is not, are you going to die? The question is, are you going to live before that happen? And that requires one thing that algorithm was specifically designed to prevent, and it is presence. So here is what I want you to actually do. Not someday, but today. Yes. One, open your screen time right now. Not to feel guilty, but to know your numbers. Your number is your starting point. Number two, pick 1 hour that you will protect. Mindless screen. 1 hour where you are doing something that when you are 70, you'll still remember that you did. That's it. 1 hour. Not a detox, not a 13 days plan, not a app to track another app. Just 1 hour. The Stoic didn't build this elaborate system for living well. They ask question every single day, repeatedly. Is this chosen? Or it just I drift into it and just forget to live? Because that's the whole thing. That's the entire script. Scrolling isn't a evil. Passive isn't a sin. When you try to remember what when you see your first reel for today, you will never remember. That is a problem. That is a problem of presence because you are chosen. Scrolling is rarely chosen. You just drift into it and always forget to live from there. You have 2340 weeks left. Marcus said 2756 and he spent them to change history. What you gonna do with your weeks? That is not philosophy. I'll see you in next one.